Well, welcome everybody, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Kim Gems. I am delighted to be here on November the 1st with you. I tried to do it live, but I just have to work out the kinks. So tomorrow I would do it live, but I'm just going to record it here. So thank you for watching. Firstly, I just wanted to say welcome. Today is November the 1st. I am doing a challenge with my group, my private group, to where that we're going live every single day for 30 days in the month of November. So I'm excited to do this. And so I might as well just talk about the things that I already do. So one, welcome. Welcome to my channel. I think I did a welcome maybe when I first started it. I first started my YouTube channel in 2010, as a matter of fact. I have some makeup videos that are on there. That's really how I started. And you can actually still find those makeup videos. But let me tell you just real quickly, I'm Kim Evans. I'm the owner of Two Gorgeous Wellness Spas, a facial spa located in the Bay Area. I specialize in clinical skincare facials, making women and men look amazing with their skin, and massage therapy, nutrition coaching, waxing, and now business coaching. My YouTube channel, Kim Gems, I started it in 2010. I did a couple of makeup videos on there. They were really good, actually, and they're still on there. And so now, hence 10 years later, then I actually started business coaching, pivoted into adding business coaching to women coaches, to coaches and consultants, womenpreneurs, established business leaders and servant leaders and service providers. And I actually help them to improve their confidence, to actually to gain more influence, brand recognition in their business, and so that they can be able to cultivate and to create digital online products so they can sell those high ticket programs and services. So that's what I do when it comes to business coaching for womenpreneurs. And so I actually have a podcast show, have you seen here on the YouTube channel, and we're about to hit our 90th show. I'm also a digital creator. So I have courses that I have created, and the two courses that I just created, the master training that I did live was Beyond the Mic, how to create your podcast show. So since I'm getting ready to hit the 100th show, I've been doing this. This is my fourth year. I said, well, okay, what I coach other people to do is to take their expertise, their skill sets, and their experience from their business, from their business to the marketplace so they can monetize that. And so I created a podcast. And when I created the podcast, I came up, me and God came up with this name. It's like, what do I name it? And it's like, okay, Inspire Conversations with Kim. So we named it Inspire Conversations with Kim. And I wanted the theme to be for professional women. And I wanted the elements of the podcast to center around business mastery, holistic marketing, so that we could show other women on how to do that to improve their businesses, global travel, spiritual connection, self-care, and wellness for the business leader, for the woman who is leading in her business and in her life. Hence, Inspire Conversations podcast show. So the first year was just crazy amazing. And then I began to go into themes of it. And so I did, the first one was Black History. And I had about 10 guests on that, and I made it a theme. And then later I did topics. And then later after that, I came up with this thing on trainings. And so podcast really is your new business card. So let me just share with you 8 things that I've been so inspired and learned doing podcasts. And one is you're taking your craft, you're taking your experience from your business platform, from your business to the marketplace. So everything that you talk about to your clients or with your clients, you can have a conversation on your podcast show. And it will also attract other like-minded people. So what I learned, I said, hey, I'm talking about this all the time with my clients. Then let's have a conversation around some of these subjects. And so we started having conversations around those subjects. So that's number one. I'm already doing it. I'm already actually coaching my clients. I'm already giving transformation. I'm already giving results. And why leave that? Why don't we take that? Why don't we package that? Why don't we nurture that and foster that and make it a dialogue and a conversation? And let's have a conversation about it and invite guests too. So that's number one, is that you just take your expertise and your knowledge that you already have. And I actually created a e-course. I'd love for you to get it. I'm going to leave the links right in here. It's an overview. It's really dynamic and it tells you really step by step on how to create your podcast show. And so too, as you're being the host, right, of your podcast, you really have to be very clear of really your intentions on the mission of your podcast. I've had a couple of people that will say, "Hey, my cousin or of a person that just got out of jail, or they just moved from here, or they just doing this, or just something that does not line up, that's not in alignment, and they wrote a book." And I'm like, "Great for them," but that's not my market of persons. So that's not my market. So, too, you want to be able to really know who's your target audience and what your target mission is and stay within that mission. Because there's going to be a lots of people that's going to be saying, you know what, I think I want you to invite this guest on your podcast show. And it's like, okay, well, is it your core ideal? Is it your core? Is it within your alignment of your mission? And I love it when I invite people on my guests and then they'll say, okay, well, let me take a look at it to see if it's within my core mission of what I'm doing in my business. I'm like, that's great because I'm going every day examine what you do before even sending you the final invite on to my guests. So really knowing your mission of why you have your podcast show so that you're just more clear when people come on. And four, have fun with it. Make sure that you're on, it's almost on a couch and you're talking with your girlfriend. And so there's myriad of different ways on how you can do your podcast. Like this is a video right here that I'm doing really alive on YouTube. But you could do an audio, you could do a visual. I came out the gate doing both of them because we learn by listening, we learn by visual, we learn by reading, we learn by, there's five different ways on how people learn. So if you're going to do your podcast and if you're very low tech and you're not high tech, then you might just want to start out just being audio because it's a lot easier to do that. If you just really want to be able to complete the whole thing all at once, then do visual and do audio because you got to record it on Zoom anyway. And so, five, being the host of the podcast is setting out an agenda so that when you do invite your guests, what I've learned, no one taught me this, I had to have an agenda. So you have an agenda, and my clients actually have to go to my Calendly booking form and they have to fill that out. And it's 10 questions. If you can't fill out my 10 questionnaire so that I can learn the information about you and study you, then you definitely cannot be on my show. I hope I'm recording this. I'm recording this. Okay, great, because I'm not going to do it again. So where are we like number six? So as the host, you want to be able to do that. And you want to be able to have a calendar. So what I have learned is time them out. So I might do four a month. Before I was doing them like every week, like four every week, and that was just too much. So then I started doing it weekly, and then now every other week. So now I do my single shows, and then I also do shows with my guests. And so now I may do two shows with my guests per month, and I do two shows with myself. So learn a pattern. And it's so much better if you come out the gate starting, if starting your podcast, you want to be able to have a schedule and stay with that schedule. Okay, but let me tell you this right here. When you do have your guest on, they do not dictate to you when you're going to go live. You let them know when you're going to go live. There are podcasting companies that will actually help you to be on people's podcasts, and it might be recorded, but it's not going to go live until about maybe 6 or 7 months because I do all my tech myself for the most part. When I do interview someone, then the very next couple of days or the next week, I like to get mine up and live. And I have a whole course that I teach you how to do that. I have a whole process. Each one of those steps is a process, and it's amazing. If you guys follow me on Facebook, Kim M. Evans, on my personal page, when I'm actually marketing, like I just did the doctors in Lafayette, they're going to be celebrating East Bay Health. And so I always do a pre-launch of the guests that I'm getting ready to interview, and I'll do a short commercial and I talk about them, and then I do an email blast. So I do a whole process, right? This is what I've learned that's been very successful. And then guests see that and they want to be on your show. And then after that, we do with the actual show. I have two covers. I have one cover that I send out to my email blast, and I just have one cover that I actually put on the actual podcast. So it's a process. So that's what I have learned, that you want to schedule out your podcast whenever you're going to do that. Make sure that you allow ample time, that you tell your guest when you're going to go live. And the other thing, very important, the other thing that I learned is that make sure you review your podcast before you go live. I review every single podcast before, and 99% of the time I'll send the podcast out to the guests to let them review it. There's only been one person that didn't like the podcast. They're just their worst critic, and it was great. We just had to re-record it for whatever reason. But for the most part, that's what I have learned. As the guest, you want to be sure to make sure that you ask that from the host if you're the guest that you would like to review the podcast. Now, this is where the money come in. So you can make money from your podcast. What I have learned is that there's a myriad of ways. One way that I do very easily, I just allow the commercials in, and I tell you the different platforms that you can actually start with on your podcast. And so every time I go, the commercials come in, and I see through my PayPal thing, it's like, okay, you've received money from speaker. I mean, that's not why I do the podcast. It's just, to me, it's an added benefit. So that's one way. You can have sponsorship. You can have people that will pay to be on your podcast. But I do, it's just like even humanity. It's like, I don't charge people to be on my podcast. I am grateful that you're on. I'm grateful that you're sharing information. This is a shared, connected space. I require that whoever's coming on my podcast now to have at least 5,000 email subscribers on there. And so we do a collaborative where I'm sending out the emails to my subscribers. They're sending out the emails to their subscribers. And so now we're able to collaborate on both platforms. That's really how you make a win-win. So I don't charge, but there's other people that charge. So that's what I've learned. You want to be sure that you're very clear on how you set it up. And then how you make it successful. This is how you make it successful. Business owners, be very consistent. So just be very consistent. Look, don't do a podcast on 1 month and then you don't do another one for another month and then you don't do another one for another month. You want to be very consistent on your podcast. Anytime you have a podcast show, just make sure that you're consistent. Like, I'm very consistent on mine. Plus, you stay on top of the algorithms anyway. I'm on 18 different global podcasts. I'm an international podcaster. Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, two snaps. Africa and Australia. Thank you. So I'm very excited. I'd love to get my first guest in Italy is coming. But yeah, we're getting there, about to cross 100 podcasts. So real quick before I end this, beyond the mic, how to create your podcast, please click the link below so that you could get the course. Because right now I'm doing a beautiful special too. If you get the course, it's $497. I actually get a coaching session with me. So that's really worth the price of the course, because your success is my success. And so that's about it. That's all I want to do. Introduce myself. Welcome to my YouTube channel, live for the next 30 days. This is Kim Gems. I'm Kim Evans. I'm so excited. Please, you guys, be blessed. This is the holidays. Go out there and start your podcast show. Start your podcast show and grab my course below. Okay. Don't you want to collapse time? Why would you want to go through thousands of YouTube snippets on how to put in two and two and three and four together when you can get a nice course to do it? Invest in yourself. I invest in myself thousands of dollars in coaching. So if this is something that you would be interested in and you would like to do, please purchase the course, or you can schedule a complimentary call. There's a link at the bottom on how to do that. Follow me on Instagram at Two Gorgeous Wellness, as well as KME Coaching. And I look forward to seeing you on the other side of success. This is Kim Evans. Welcome to my YouTube channel. We're going to turn this up for the month of November. All right. Bye for now.